What's up, everybody? This is Big Herc, and you're in for another edition of Prison Talk, Prison Workout. And today I want to share with you some exercises we used to do on the yard when they did have weights. Like I said before in the other video, a lot of the institutions took the weights, so you didn't have the option of being able to work out with weights or do free weight exercises because of they said the inmates were getting too big and all this bullshit. You know what I mean? They want everybody to be in there to be fat and lazy and basically weak. So guys make up their own stuff. But anyways, at Sheridan Medium, they actually still had weights when I got there. So I did have a short amount of time where I got to work out with free weights for a minute and kind of get my buff on. At Rampart USP, where I started my time at, all they had was machine weights, and they still had the machine weights when I left there. So a lot of guys used to go out there and buff, but the cables would break, and basically you had military bench press, a couple of tricep exercises, a couple of curl exercises on the cables. Well, Sheridan still had the free weights, which in the pen we call free weights pig iron. And pig iron is usually, it's a bar with multiple dimes welded at the ends. So you might have like 10 dimes or 15 dimes, depending on what it is, or you might have 2 dimes, but it's usually a bar like this, but it's welded at the end, and it feels heavier than what you have on the street for some reason. The weights in prison are just, I don't know, it's because of the elements of sitting outside, or the way they're welded, but it feels a lot heavier than what you work with in the gym with all this plastic shit on it. But anyways, in prison you would have different cars. They call them cars, meaning that that's your group of guys you work out with. So you might have the Crip car, you might have the Blood car, you might have the North Daniel car, you might have the Serrano car, you might have the white car or the black car, whatever it is. Everybody got their own little groups, and that's their car, which means that's the group of guys they roll with when they're working out on the yard. But I used to work out with a bunch of different people, but I have my little car I used to roll with. We'd go out there and get our money, and one of the exercises we would do is dumbbell curls, which are supinator curls we would do with the pig iron. So basically it didn't take a whole lot of weight for biceps, but we would just get some curls in. And the main thing that we focused on in there was form, because a lot of the weights, some of the places still had, like I said, the free weights. And when they had the free weights, some of them still had the plates where you can actually add them to the barbell, and they weren't welded. So you could do like the bench press, you can put your plates on there, but most of the curl stuff was welded. And so you try to get something you can work with for at least 4 or 5 sets of various exercises. So that's your alternate dumbbell curls, and we would maybe hit 4 or 5 sets of those. And what happened was there was really no break time in between. We'd have like maybe 3 or 4 guys, and we go back to back. I pass it to him, he do his set, he pass it to him, he do his set, pass it back to me. And the average car was maybe 4 guys tops. You weren't trying to have a bunch of dudes in your car, because then it made your workout longer, and then you couldn't get all your exercises in. So 3 guys, but 4 guys tops was the average number of people you worked out with in your car. Okay, so that would be one exercise. Another exercise we would do for biceps would be hammer curls. Basically, like you pound it with the hammer. So you can see from the side here. And we would do 4 or 5 sets of these. And like I said, we were on a timer, because you only have so much time to work out on the yard. You might have an hour, roughly 45 minutes movement, and if you missed the first movement, you only had that second movement. Usually there were 2 2 movements to the yard before they had yard recall. So you had to take advantage of your yard time according to your schedule. So, you know, like I said, we were back-to-back hitting these exercises. So you have alternate dumbbell curls, and then you have hammer curls. Now, another exercise we would hit with the dumbbells would be side laterals. We'd hit, like I said, 4 or 5 sets of those, and sometimes we would do shoulder and bicep together, or shoulder, tricep. It kind of just depends on how we felt. You know, we switch it up. You'd maybe do shoulders and triceps for, you know, a couple months, and then switch it up and do shoulders, biceps, just to keep shocking the muscle groups. So that's one of the shoulder exercises we would do, and you know, like I said, we hit those back to back. And, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of switching, trying to get lighter weight or heavier weight, because the weights that you first got, like I said, when you got to the yard, was what you used to work out your whole workout. So it wasn't a whole lot of you coming over here taking these dudes' weights, because that might get your wig split. So you got your weights, you worked out with it, did your thing. Another exercise we would do, dumbbell front raises. Or 5 sets. And you know, in the pen, ain't no pretty boy shit. You know, they don't even have tank tops like this. I'm just fortunate I'm on the street now. I ain't gotta dress or act like that, but you know, you worked out, you usually had a khaki shirt on. Sometimes you have a t-shirt, you know, they hand out white t-shirts, so you got a khaki shirt, or you have a gray sweatshirt. Gray sweatshirt is standard in the feds. I don't know about the state, but in the feds, they sell gray sweats on commissary, and that's what you buy to go work out in. Or white thermals. People go out there in white thermals. And most of the time, summertime, you might flex a little bit, because you want to let dudes know you ain't no punk, you got a little size on, you know, that way somebody might think twice before they try you. Wintertime, you stay covered up. Some dudes stay covered up year round. So when these cats, you know, you see them tossing up 4 or 5 wheels, and you see them pilt, you know they weren't playing, but you're on some beast mode shit. Ain't no pretty boy, ha ha, look at me, look at my abs. And we're on straight Hummer mode, you know, or motherfucking tank mode. You trying to run over a motherfucker if you have to. So the weights are a way to stay in shape outside of doing your calisthenics, so that if you got to handle your business, you're about it. Now, one more exercise I'm gonna share with you guys that we should do in there is bent over, basically for your rear delts. And that would be another exercise you throw in on your shoulder routine. I'm only going to do 4 exercises for the day, so that way I can break it up and show you a couple other ones on the next workout. But the way I worked out was more bodybuilding style, because I had somewhat of a bodybuilding background before I got locked up, and I knew how to work out. A lot of dudes just got penitentiary workouts. They're not doing a bunch of cosmetic exercises. And what I mean by that is like trying to isolate movements. They're doing straight push, military, row, bench, curl, bicep, tricep. That's all they're doing. These dudes is built just like bricks up top with no legs. So most of the dudes up there are doing straight upper body workouts. They're not really getting into, like I said, a lot of isolated movements. Some of them do, because they read a lot of muscle and fitness, Flex, Ironman magazines. Everybody's always reading magazines, so they're trying to get ideas for working out. But everybody pretty much is doing, like I said, in the pen, if they if they've been working out in the pen, where they started working out in the pen, they pretty much do just a penitentiary workout. I try to break it up and at least get a balance so that my body has some type of symmetry. But you know, your diet is some shit. You may be eating tuna fish, top ramen, bagged rice, everything's processed. So you're not getting a lot of protein, but niggas are still on swole up in there. But yeah, this is Big Herc signing out for another edition of Prison Workout.